Hello world, I am Nobu, the rooted one, proclaimer of liberty and free thought. If you are sick and tired of corrupt organizations that explain propaganda, falsify events, and fabricate stories, evil individuals drunk off power, wealth, and greed that attempt to politicize every segment of your livelihood, then this is the channel for you. No longer will we sit back as our rights are abused, as our children are brainwashed, and as the very foundations of all morality dissolves. The silent majority will be heard. Let us begin.
What's good, collective? If you enjoyed that intro, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so we can keep it jamming. Now, the video I'm bringing to you today is about Netflix and how they were just indicted in Texas for their film Cuties. It should have never had to get to this point. The film should have never been made, and Netflix should have never aired it on their platform. But we're all well aware of the clear agenda to sexualize our children and legalize pedophilia, especially since a lot of wealthy individuals and people connected to those individuals are being exposed, indicted, and charged for their crimes against humanity. This is the reason why California just passed the 10-year gap law, meaning that if a 24-year-old man has sex with a 15-year-old girl, it's seen as consent. It's already been passed. It's not in the works, it's already active. So a 24-year-old man can fuck your 15-year-old daughter and not have to register as a sex offender. If that's not clear to what the agenda is, then you're just blind at this point. With that said, let us begin. This article is by Vulture. Wait, what's going on with Netflix and Cuties? I wonder what. Before Cuties arrived on Netflix in the United States, the French language film from writer-director, I'll just call her Mai because I don't want to butcher her fucking name, about an 11-year-old Senegalese immigrant named Amy garnered an unusual amount of attention. Although it received relatively positive reviews at Sundance earlier this year, which tells you everything you need to know about fucking Sundance. Remember when we could go to movie theaters, much less hold film festivals, and took home the World Cinema Dramatic Directing Award? Things took a turn months later. Actually, here's a tweet from our colleague, Vulture film critic Allison Wilmore, that does a pretty good job of summing up what the hell happened to Cuties. So Netflix bought Mai's Miganones, gave it a misleading poster and summary, and now people are review bombing it, sight unseen on IMDb and Google, and petitioning for it to be removed. Yeah. To back up, in August of 2020, Netflix started promoting the film. It used a picture of young Senegalese Muslim character Amy along with the titular Cuties, the dance crew of cool girls from her middle school in Paris, in spandex dance costumes, short shorts, and metallic crop tops. Come on, man. The now deleted description says Amy becomes fascinated with a twerking dance crew and that in an attempt to join them, she starts to explore her femininity, defying her family's traditions. Netflix, what the fuck is this? Reads a viral tweet from a thread calling out the platform for sexualizing minors. The fact that this is a black girl lead makes this even worse, reads another tweet in the thread. The Twitter user also posted a petition to have Cuties removed from Netflix. Removed is perhaps the wrong word to use for an as yet unreleased film, but we have larger problems to address here. And here goes his tweet. Netflix, what the fuck is this? In the first week, over 40,000 people signed the petition. Now that number is closer to 400,000. I'm glad. This movie/show is disgusting as it sexualizes an 11-year-old for the viewing pleasure of pedophiles and also negatively influences our children. Read the description. There is no need for this kind of content in that age group, especially when sex trafficking and pedophilia are so rampant. There is no excuse. This is dangerous content. A different petition titled, I want Netflix to remove the new movie Cuties as it promotes child pornography, had garnered over 60,000 signatures in the same time period. It now has over 600,000. As the film had not yet been widely released in the United States at the time these petitions were created, it seems safe to say that the scores of people signing them had not actually seen the film or even watched the trailer. If they had, they would have seen a very different movie than the ones the petitions describe. A story about family, womanhood, growing up, and the clash between Amy's Senegalese heritage and the freedom craved by anybody who was ever an 11-year-old girl. Cap. Writer and director Daniel Dash pointed all this out in her own viral thread in response to the Cuties uproar. It's Cap. There go her response. The costumes for the Netflix promo do appear briefly in the trailer, but in context, you can see them for exactly what they are, costumes for a dance competition. The trailer also shows a scene of the girls laughing and running down the street, clutching shopping bags, wearing bras and underwear over their clothing. A still from that scene was the film's original release poster. Why would you use that as the original release poster? Why was this even created? Carrying on. Netflix has since updated the promo image and description and issued an apology for the first iteration. The image for the film now shows just Amy looking over her shoulder in a pink top. It's cropped from the still at the top of this post. The description no longer mentions twerking and instead describes the movie as a story of an 11-year-old girl rebelling against her family after she meets a free-spirited dance crew, a free-spirited twerk crew. Here goes they fucking bullshit. We're deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that we used for McNonay's Cologne. It was not okay. Nor was it representative of the French film won an award at Sundance. We're now updated the picture description. We're all pedophiles and we're with this shit and we're with the agenda to push it on your children. Fucking scumbags. This hasn't stopped people from negatively reviewing the movie, which again, most people who aren't film critics had almost certainly not seen before September on platforms like IMDb. This movie is about children twerking. I don't really need to say any more. Why would you need to? Why would this even exist? It is unacceptable that they even thought this was a good idea. Facts. The active sexualization of children is all this movie is. Netflix should be ashamed of themselves, reads one early review. A new low for the entire cinema industry. The authors, Netflix, Sundance, parents of the actresses/dancers, and whoever claims that this is artwork should be jailed. Facts, reads another. A number of vocal conservatives, including alt-right troll Jack Posobiec, whoever you say his name, sorry, has already weighed in on Twitter. Carmine. Netflix, what you are doing is called grooming. Facts. Donna. Now remove the film. Facts, they still got it on there. Leela, your response defines reason and insults the intelligence of your subscribers. Facts. The artwork is a depiction of the entire film, which encourages prepubescent girls to explore their sexuality and act in sexual ways. The film is pedophilia soft porn. Facts. Hotep Jesus, the artwork isn't the only thing that's wrong. Facts. Also, isn't the entire premise of the film disturbing? Y'all gotta scrap the whole film. For real. Ban Cuties. I told Deadline she's been the target of serious harassment as the result of the controversy. I received numerous attacks on my character from people who had not seen the film, who thought I was actually making a film that was apologetic about hypersexualization of children. The fuck you were doing then? That was exactly what you were doing. I also received numerous death threats. Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos called her personally to apologize. Maya is currently working on a new unnamed project for the platform. The fuck is that one named? Pretties? I can imagine what that's about. The Cuties uproar only intensified following its September 3 premiere. After continued backlash and accusations of pedophilia from conservative social media figures and media outlets, Texas House of Representatives member Matt Schaefer tweeted on September 10 that he had asked Texas Attorney General Paxton's office to investigate Cuties for possible violations of child exploitations and child pornography laws. Facts. And there you go. Furthermore, far-right media personality and conspiracy theorist Paul Joseph Watson shared an article on September 11th accusing Cuties of featuring communist propaganda in the form of hidden hammer and sickle imagery. And there goes his tweet. While many film critics have expressed bafflement and dismay at this conservative outrage over Cuties, certain bad faith readings of the film and the campaign of harassment directed towards my tracks with the increased platforming of QAnon aligned conspiracy in the right-wing media. Yeah, because everything that goes against mass media and what they want to promote is a conspiracy theory. Nothing else matters except for what they want to promote. Nothing else is true. Nothing else is true. The main conspiracy that QAnon pushes is that there is a global cabal of pedophiles and child sex traffickers controlling the world's government and mainstream media, that the Democrats are complicit, and that Donald Trump is a Deckard-style savior figure attempting to bring it down. Facts. It's an evolution/devolution of the conspiracy theory that led to Pizzagate, when Edgar Welch shot up Washington, D.C. restaurant Comet Pizza in 2016 because he believed Hillary Clinton was operating a child sex trafficking ring out of his basement, which happens a lot. At this point, many people have pointed out that the sorts of junior dance teams depicted and commented upon in Paris-based Cuties have long been a part of American pop culture, and everything from dance moms to toddlers and tiaras. Facts. Alas, such an acknowledgement has done little to stymie the cancel Netflix hashtag or the organized harassment of criminals who positively reviewed the film, which you should be fucking harassed. In fact, on October 6th, Texas State Representative Matt Schaefer tweeted a filing for an indictment against Netflix by grand jury in Tyler County, Texas, for promoting material in Cuties films which depicts lewd exhibition of pubic area of a clothed or partially clothed child who is younger than 18 years of age, which appears to the prurient interest in sex. The indictment is dated September 23rd. The indictment states that Cuties has no serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. Facts. A spurious charge which Netflix countered in a statement shared with TMZ. Cuties is a social commentary against the sexualization of young children. This charge is without merit, and we stand by the film, because you stand by the agenda, nigga. According to Variety, the grand jury filed the indictment under a Texas state law that forbids the lewd exhibition of genitals or pubic area of an unclothed, partially clothed, or clothed child. And there go his indictment right there. The Tyler County District Attorney who filed the indictment is Lucas Babin, who Variety points out played Spider in The School of Rock. And yes, they're right. The former male model and son of Republican congressman is now a conservative DA who administers something called Man Church. Okay, then. It's fucking wild, man. It's fucking crazy. Just know this is nothing new, like I stated before. This is nothing new. They've been trying to push this agenda. They've been trying to sexualize our children. They've been trying to legalize pedophilia. This is nothing new. Wake up. If you've been blind to it for this long, wake up. Pay attention to your kids when they outside, man. Because there's people literally lurking, just waiting. People desperate now. Absolutely desperate. So many people are getting caught and charged. They don't got that same plug anymore. Same thing goes for these wealthy individuals. They don't got that same plug anymore. So supervise your children and watch your children at all times, man. For real. I just wanted to insert before we leave this video that the writer and director for the Cuties film was a woman A black woman at that. A melanated woman. Using an 11-year-old black lead. This is what happens when you allow female liberation, man. Sexual liberation always comes next, and guess what? Sodom and Gomorrah. This is historic, man. All the top civilizations have failed to the same thing. History repeats itself, man. This is why I told you that I love research. I'm always going to be one up on them. I'm always going to know what's ahead because history repeats itself. So anyway, with that said, peace and love to the collective. Remain rooted. And thank you for watching the video.